Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 20th of January, comes to you from Sydney in Australia. And I haven't been able to swim in the sea for the last day or two because right here last night was a shark attack. Poor guy surfing, but his legs caught in a shark. And there's been four shark attacks in Sydney in the last 24 hours. So all the beaches are closed. So it's meant that I spent more time at my desk today. And so it's just coming up to 7 in the morning UK time, 6 in the evening in Sydney, and just taking another look at the charts. And I think the key thing is we were closed in the US yesterday for Martin Luther King Day, and we've now got quite a lot of news flow with Trump and these tariffs and Davos. So what's really going on the charts? And we see here the dollar index is still a little bit flatlining. If I look at the 60-minute chart, it is actually just breaking below the clouds. So and it's down just under 0.5% today. So the key thing I keep talking about is if we break lower on this dollar index, then that's bad news for the dollar. Move into the pattern, move out. And so consequently, most other currencies are rising against the dollar. So that's quite key. Taking a look at Bitcoin, we are down. And again, if we look at the chart here, we did activate this upside target. Those downside targets were met on the daily. We're waiting to see if we activate this bigger downside target. So it is a mixed picture, and we are below the clouds. So on the medium-term time horizon, we would discount this target on the basis that we've not really got back above the cloud. But certainly, if we can make a new high above that recent little high, then we might see some improvement. If I look at the 60-minute chart, you see here upside target given, met quite quickly, downside target given and met. And this one actually just plummeted, but we already had a downside target in place. So, and of course, if you're trading Bitcoin, you want to be looking at the 1-minute targets. They're going to be the really key thing if you're trading it actively, which you can, of course, do on TradingView. So if you're looking at Bitcoin on TradingView, you can go to your charts there and easily can just go to a 1-minute chart or a 60-minute chart. The choice is yours. So, and it will literally just draw all the trends and targets. And we can see on Bitcoin, we've got that bigger downside target now kicking in. So, really quite interesting. So if you want to try the targets, just go to the updater website and you'll find them there. You can enable them automatically on your TradingView. So coming back to updater, we see here that's the picture on Bitcoin. The big thing at the moment is US 10-year yields, and we're seeing that we've got that upside target activated now. And the really big worry that's starting to worry markets globally is what's happening in Japan. So this is the 30-year yield in Japan really just jumping all of a sudden. Had an upside target given to 3.8%. That was given back at 3.2. We had another one given at 3.4 to 4.12. And of course on Bloomberg, which is famous for bond pricing, I'm looking here at the 40-year, and that's got a target to 4.9. So we're seeing how that 40-year has been sideways consolidation and now just really moving fast. Japan is the most indebted country in the major economies. I think there's one country in Africa, might be Congo, that's got a worse debt to GDP ratio, but the Japan ratio is 250%, and that is higher interest rate costs are going to be a real burden for the Japanese. So this is one of the things that is going to worry markets globally. And of course, we're seeing that when we look at other bond yields. We talked about Germany, the German bond yield, if I look at that, that's also looking higher. You see here in Germany, that's the 60-minute chart, but if we look at the daily, pointing higher, just waiting to see if we can activate this upside target. A move to new highs would be bad. The UK is still a little bit of a standout in that interest rates are just falling there, which is easing the debt burden. So a look at the markets. If we look at the S&P future, we're down 1% this morning. We had quite big moves on the European indices yesterday. That's continued. If we look at the DAX, we're seeing here it did fall away yesterday, still looking much more bullish than America on the chart. And if we look at Japan, we were down just on 1%. And again, Japanese equities have been really running higher. This obviously tells a different story to what we're seeing in the Japanese bond markets. US was closed yesterday, so looking at in terms of looking at the Dow. These numbers are from last Friday. We had some pretty big falls there, and of course, again, you can look at these in your TradingView system. So if I go to Dow 30 members and go to a daily chart, I can now just literally click on each stock, and it will give me the picture and all the targets. And so you can run through there. You can set your percentages. So we see here that Intel was down 2.8% on Friday. Salesforce, which is CRM, they were down very different. Intel, a very different looking chart than Salesforce, and that's really quite key. So you can look at the targets again in your TradingView system, and that's also another benefit. So you want to go to the updated website, you can get the targets there. So if you're now looking at some of the commodities, and I just look at my global list here, looking today just at some of the big commodities. Of course, we've seen gold and silver have been big story. Gold is up another 1%. So that is just almost getting us to the target. 4714, 4716 was the target that was given back at 4,200. You can run that in your TradingView or your Bloomberg. So really quite key. Some of the other metals just falling away there. Copper up 1%. In fact, I've got that in my Bloomberg as well. But just looking at copper here, up 1%. And that has been really running to all the targets. And again, on my Bloomberg, I'm looking at that. So if you want the targets on Bloomberg, this is a weekly chart. This is a very, very long-term view on copper. Upside targets all met. So you really can't ignore the targets. So that's the key. We are seeing silver just pulling back slightly, but we still do have the big upside target in place for silver to $104. So that's quite key as well. We will look at the energy mix shortly for clients on the morning call, and we're just waiting for pricing to come in for TTF. That's going to be very interesting today. We've seen really big gyrations in the price there. Downside target that was given on Friday met at the open yesterday. Some little upside targets kicking in there on the 1 minute. So that's key. That's what we're going to have to watch today. Watching how this price action develops will be absolutely key. We cover that in the morning call out to clients this morning. So that's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. Do like if you're watching on YouTube or anywhere else, and do tell your friends. Watch this at chartstoday.com. Until tomorrow, happy charting. Bye for now.